you talk businessmen, you talk common people, shopkeepers, and the small scale industries. I haven't seen any single person happy, and everybody was talking about this that after Article 370 is this gone, we have been suffering a lot because our businesses are gone, economic meltdown is there. But why then vote for BJP? And this was a question to them. How, if you are suffering from, like this, why did you vote for BJP? Most of the people, they said, there was no choice because Congress didn't campaign in Jammu. It was only last days of electioneering when they came, people came and just have some sort of rallies there. But it didn't do massive electioneering as BJP has done. And the guarantees which government, even governor promised on the floor of assembly that we are committed to constitutional guarantees to people, and but the promises have not been fulfilled yet. After elections now, 5 weeks, 6 weeks have gone to elections. So this despair is there, this disappointment and disgruntled youth particularly, they are starting to think that no, if government, central government is not interesting in having this peaceful situation here, when people have come and voted for these elections, then we don't know what government wants and how this is going to take turn in near future. Boasting about this Article 370 abrogation, and it's sort of saying that like it has snatched Azadi from the people. Now they have merged with the India as if we haven't done that earlier when instrument of accession was done, and it's giving some sort of a that color to this, that we have done this. Otherwise, the other political parties, they have given internal sovereignty, autonomy, and all that, which was sort of azadi, which was sort of a sessionism. How it's projecting this Article 370 abrogation, and that's how it's becoming vote catcher for them. And on the other hand, then Congress has now started doing the same thing.
Hello and welcome to In Conversation. I'm Anuradha Bhasin. Joining me today is Nayeema Ahmad Mehjoor, a senior journalist, ex-news editor of the BBC, author of several books, including Lost in Terror. She was also the chairperson of J&K State Commission for Women. She shuttles between London and Kashmir and recently spent several months covering the length and breadth of the erstwhile state and continues to be very active. She is joining us today from London. Naeema ji, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me, Anuradha.
As a journalist and a keen political observer, you've been watching the developments of Kashmir for over 3 decades, and you were recently there at covering elections, or you were there on the ground zero when an electoral history of sorts was being created. Much significance has been attached to these elections by different people. Why is it so significant? And especially for the voters, why was it important?
I think it was important for every stakeholder that was involved in these elections, be it BJP people, the voters, and the political parties. BJP, it wanted to show its achievements to its voters, particularly in India and the rest of the India, and also the international community, that what it has promised after 5th August 2019, it has fulfilled its promise. So that's peace has prevailed in the valley. Normalcy is there. Offices are running. Schools are normal, and all these achievements, and then the sort of infrastructure it has developed as promised by BJP. So it was for it to show, it was sort of an exhibition for BJP to show that whatever it has promised, it has delivered on it. For people, it was a sort of a chance to come out in droves and vent the anger it has accumulated since 5th August 2019. So it was sort of a protest vote that we have not accepted the decision of 5th August 2019, and this is a vote against it, sort of a protest vote. And then for the political parties, all the political parties, they've been sitting idle for the last so many years, had nothing to do. So they wanted to connect with the people and see the mood of the people and gauge the mood of the people, of which party is going to get the votes and what's the feel of the people and how they sense about these things which has been happened for the last 5 6 years. So it was important for every single stakeholder, and every stakeholder has what it wanted to show on these, during these elections.
There were speculations that the vote in Kashmir Valley would be fragmented. And if you see the parliamentary elections that happened just 3 months before that, people voted for different people. In fact, Omar Abdullah lost the elections in North Kashmir to Engineer Rashid. Even at that time, it was being said that it is a revenge vote. So how come people voted en masse for national conference this time? Had it become popular in the last 3 months?
I don't think it has become popular 3 months because of its record, past performance, and also the backtracking of its promises, which it has never fulfilled. This time there were only two choices, I think, BJP or National Conference, because the rest of the political parties, they were either split or the label as B team, A team of BJP. So that has played well this time. People wanted to, everybody was expecting that it will be a fragmented mandate this time, because every single party will get 2 3 seats, and only the BJP is going to have a majority of seats in Jammu. But it didn't happen. People, thought about it, and this was a sort of a smart move by the people to give vote to one single party. But there was only two choices. Either it was BJP or it was National Conference. National Conference because it has a cadre intact, it has its leadership intact, and it has a mass base. So that's why I think one reason was that we should give one more chance to National Conference. And the second point was its manifesto, which had first agenda Article 370 and 35A restoration. And I think this time people believe in National Conference because people think that National Conference is also humiliated for the last few years. And this time it might fulfill this promise. And that's why it was pressure to have this sort of a vague resolution in the first days of assembly. So this was the feeling among the people. Otherwise, I don't think the national conference so popular that it got a massive mandate this time. It was only there was no other choice left.
You talked about manifestos. Most other political parties, Kashmir-based political parties, had similar manifestos. But are you saying that people felt that national conference was stronger out of the other parties like the PDP, the People's Conference, and the Apni Party because it had strong grassroots level cadres existing, which is why they chose national conference over the other parties?
I think so. Yes, yes, I will agree with this thing because people have. There were so many other political parties like PDP, Apni Party, PC, Afsijad Loan, and then the Engineer Rashid Party. But keeping in view the mass base of national conference, so it was the only choice that we have to give a chance to this political party and let us see if it can fight our battle, which is restoration of Article 370. Regarding PDP, the splits have happened to PDP so many times, and most of the political workers, they have gone to other political parties. But this time, I mean, when you met people there during these elections, I mean, when I spoke to so many people, they were saying that the PDP has been an ally of BJP, and we have seen that sort of an era, which was the worst one, when Burhan Wani's killings happened, and then the pellets and the bullets were thrown at the people. So that is sort of just a punishment for PDP. We are not going to vote for that. Then Engineer Rashid was there. Yes, he got massive vote in North Kashmir when parliamentary elections were there. But this time, the mudslinging was done by NC and the other political parties. That Engineer Rashid is also another shade of a BJP. That's why he has been released on bail and all that. And that worked. People were suspicious about his performance as well. So Sajad Sahab's party, People's Conference, and then the Apni party, they were labeled as A team, B team, and people were very suspicious about these political parties. That's why they didn't believe these political parties. Yes, they have this Article 370 restoration in their manifestos, but this time I think people gave a chance to National Conference and are waiting if they are going to fulfill this promise.
So they also see National Conference as a lesser of the evil.
That's what I believe. Yeah.
So how do you see Jammu as voting for the BJP? Are people in Jammu, and you mentioned that in Kashmir it was a revenge vote. So are people in Jammu happy with the post 2019 development?
I mean, if you talk to traders there, you talk businessmen, you talk common people, shopkeepers, and the small scale industries, I haven't seen any single person happy, and everybody was talking about this that after Article 370 is this gone, we have been suffering a lot because our businesses are gone, economic meltdown is there. But why then vote for BJP? And this was I mean, a question to them. How, if you are suffering from, I mean, like this, why did you vote for BJP? Most of the people, they said there was again there was no choice because Congress didn't campaign in Jammu. It was only last days of electioneering when they came, people came and just have some sort of rallies there, but it didn't do massive electioneering as BJP has done. And then other thing was that the choice given by the Congress was not good, which people said we are not happy with the candidates who were fielded by Congress as well. And then the other thing was the BJP has done a lot of things. I mean, going door to door, mass campaign, and this time it has worked. But saw in central Jammu, there was a lesser vote for BJP as it used to be in the past. This time, the vote percentage was very less for BJP, but still 29 seats were given to BJP. But I think the Congress failed Jammu people this time because number one, it didn't campaign well there. It was not interested in campaigning there. And the second thing, the choice of candidates was not well received by the people.
So Jammu people voted because there were no alternatives as well.
There was no alternative. Yes, there was no alternative.
So we see in the voting pattern overall, if we see the state, people seem to have voted on regional divides, rather religious divides. You see the Kashmir Valley going one way, but even within Jammu province, there are these sub-regional divides. Pir Panchal area, they voted differently. The Hindu majority belt voted differently. The Chenab Valley people voted differently. It's all fragmented in Chenab Valley. So, what does this, how does this election highlight these regional divides within Jammu and Kashmir? Do we see an enhancement of these divides in recent years?
I think it was more on religion lines, on the basis of religion, rather than saying that it was a regional divide. Because if you see the vote percentage in Chenab Valley, in Pir Panchal, and in Jammu, Hindu dominated areas, and then in Kashmir, Muslim dominated areas, you will see the voting pattern was on the basis of as if the people have chosen, Muslims have chosen Muslim candidates, and the Hindus have chosen Hindu candidates. You can see in Chenab particularly and in Pir Panjal, where there were these Hindu pockets, and people have voted for the Hindu candidate even if he has lost election. And that too happened in Kashmir as well. There were some BJP candidates and some other candidates, but people voted for NC. I mean, they were Muslims, and even Congress got some seats, and that was also on the basis of because religion we have to give, because it's an ally of National Conference this time, so we have to give them a vote, not BJP. So I think you remember, I mean, it reminded me of this Chena formula or this Dixon plan, which has given a division of Jammu Kashmir at when this resolving this dispute.
On religious lines.
I see this pattern just developing in those lines, that we being divided by this voting on the basis of religion, and maybe this might be the future, or nobody knows, because if you are going on the basis of this pattern, so it's going to divide on the basis of religion. So this is a very, I mean, worrying pattern, and this troubled me a lot, because I didn't see that the homogeneous unity which we used to call our secular and everything, but this time it was a little bit worrying, and it was a religious divide. I can see it.
In elections, voters don't have much choice. They have to choose what political parties give them, and often, as you said, this election was also fought on religious lines, even though no religious slogans or narrative really existed in the public domain. But what really are the people's expectations and hopes with the elections and after the elections? What is it that they really want? What is it that they want the government to focus on?
I think this time it's a sort of a political demand rather than a developmental demand. Because when you speak to people and you ask them, don't you want development? Don't you want infrastructure to be developed here? And most of the people would say that no, BJP government, Lieutenant Governor has done a lot of work on development. Because if you see roads, nicely done, maximized, and then the offices are running properly, attendance in the offices is good, schools are running, I mean, normally. So this time the vote was exactly for restoration of constitutional rights, guarantees, and that's why the people have chosen NC, which will fight this battle for the people. Otherwise, uh, everybody says that no, the development work has been done by LG nicely, and we are happy with that. If we have to give a vote for developmental work, then we should give vote to BJP, not to NC. But this vote is for political and constitutional rights, so that's why it will go to NC or any other political party if they would have been in a, I mean, position to fight for this.
Hello, I'm Anuradha Bhasin, the managing editor of the Kashmir Times, which is now available in a digital format. We bring you in-depth coverage and news analysis to combat the erasure of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. For this, we need your support. Join us in our fight. Become a member today by paying an amount of your choice. Also subscribe to our YouTube news channel and our newsletter for free. Thank you. You mentioned that people's expectations are more political than not really development related. Is this across the board, across even in Jammu region, did you witness that? And related to that, another question, uh, you also talked about in Jammu, there is a lot of disappointment. The economy is in shambles. Also, we keep hearing about a lot of resentment among the youth, the growing frustration over lack of jobs, which is also kind of leading to, drug rise in the drug abuse. Are these issues as well?
These are issues, and very, very, worrying issues, because drug menace is there, and people see this is, eating the entrails of the society. But in Jammu as well as in Kashmir, if you see, the people are more concerned about their political rights, because this disempowerment they feel. They see that we haven't got anything, even if we have got roads, buildings, schools, and other things, but we haven't got constitutional guarantees which we used to have. So that's worrying. Otherwise, the rest of the issues, daily issues like water, bijli, or sadak, pani, these type of issues, they are there, but to some extent they have been resolved by the government, whether it's a past government, now it's a elected government. But I think it's across the region, the feeling of disempowerment is eating the society, and that's why this time they wanted to have some strong political party which could get something from the center, so that this sense of this disempowerment will go. People haven't come to terms that we have lost internal autonomy and we are not going to get it back. So they are hoping that they will get it back, maybe in another form, but they are expecting. And that's why they are striving for.
In 2019, Jammu Kashmir did not only lose its autonomy, it was also completely restructured from a state divided into two and turned into two union territories. Ladakh, of course, has no legislature. The legislature in Jammu and Kashmir that we have, the powers of the legislature are completely curtailed, and there are broad sweeping powers given to the lieutenant governor, who is the center's nominee. So this has created a kind of what is being called a hybrid regime, with the lieutenant governor and the bureaucracy on one side, with unlimited powers, and the executive and the legislature on the other side, whose powers are completely clipped. So do you see this existing system as sustainable?
This, this is worrying a lot to people, because, nobody has a clue who is in control of what. Because one of the journalists, he told me that I have kept a list of powers which are with the governor and which are with the elected government. So I have to see who I am going to contact for this, some sort of clarification. So this sense is there that it's only the governor still who is in charge of everything. I mean, that could be, you can give an example when there was this JKUT day was celebrated by governor. All the, bureaucracy was there and everybody was there. And on the other hand, CM, Chief Minister, was meeting civil society and some people were there. So we thought that maybe governor or the bureaucracy will be here, and there were few people who attended that civil society meet. That gives you a sense that this hybrid system, it's having a very bad impact on people, and people have started to have this feeling, uh, हमने वोट क्यों दिया फिर? Again, if we have elected a government and we want redressal of our issues, do we have to go to governor again? Because we don't know whether CM can do it or not. तो इस तरह की feeling जो लोगों में है, this is going to be a very bad. It's not for bad for local government, it's bad for Indian establishment as well. कि if you have gone to such extent, you have shown a magnanimity that you have conducted elections and you want an elected government there, then you have to give them a powers as well, so that they can deliver on something, on the promises as well, not 370 or 335A. But there are other things. Prisoners are there, and this reservation policy is, becoming very serious issue there. But We don't know if CM can do it or his cabinet can do it, because people have feeling that it is still LG who is calling the shots. So will it sustain the system, or will this hybrid system will go on, and then we have to depend on that? We have to see after these Maharashtra elections and Jharkhand elections, because if statehood is not restored soon, then I think the situation is going from bad to worse, and people will have this feeling that this elected government, it's useless. It can't. It's a disempowered elected body. It hasn't. It can't do anything. So what we can do, and maybe there will be some sort of a outcry for this, where we are going. So this is going to be a very serious issue in the future. I mean, I can sense that.
If the government is unable to is unable to deliver, it's a hypothetical question. We hope we don't that doesn't happen. But if it's unable to deliver, and primarily because of this existing hybrid regime system, people's hopes and expectations, which really went up in the way they were voted, they are going to, despair is going to sink in. So, how do you see the future? Kashmir has been a zone of turmoil for many, many decades.
I mean,
Um,
it's not only now turmoil, it's also going, I mean, people are we're having this feeling that we have become a sort of a laboratory here. Central
mhm.
government is going to do experiments here. Now this is another experiment, that you have a hybrid system and the elected government is not working. It's not worth it. Let's again have the presidential rule or something else. People are expecting these things, and there are so many conspiracy theories, because you have seen recently there have been some blasts, some encounters in Srinagar city, in Khan, which was not expecting, because we thought that the militancy is over and peace has prevailed. But these things again happening, and why these things are happening? And then the statement from Farooq Abdullah demanding that independent investigation into these blasts must be carried on. So there are so many, I mean, these stories now going on. Do really central government want elected government here, or it was sort of an experiment? Otherwise, statehood should be restored, and the guarantees which government, I mean, even governor promised on the floor of assembly that we are committed to constitutional guarantees to people, and but the promises have not been fulfilled yet. After elections, now 5 weeks, 6 weeks have gone to elections. So this despair is there, this disappointment and disgruntled youth particularly. They are starting to think that no, if government, central government is not interesting in having this peaceful situation here, when people have come and voted for these elections, then we don't know what the government wants and how this is going to take turn in near future. And this might be a very, very, I mean, sometimes it might take a nasty turn. We don't know.
Mhm. As it is, if the despair is going to deepen, it is going to take a nasty turn, whichever way it goes.
Yeah.
So, in your recent video podcast I was watching, you mentioned that Kashmir has become a jackpot lottery, not just an experimental laboratory, but a jackpot lottery for all political parties. Can you elaborate on that?
BJP is, I mean, boasting about its this Article 370 abrogation, and it's sort of saying that like it has snatched Azadi from the people. Now they have merged with the India, as if, I mean, we haven't done that earlier when instrument of accession was done. And it's giving some sort of a that color to this, that we have done this. Otherwise, the other political parties, they have given internal sovereignty, autonomy, and all that, which was sort of azadi, which was sort of a sessionism, how it's projecting this Article 370 abrogation. And that's how it's becoming vote catcher for them. And on the other hand, then Congress has now started doing the same thing. Kharge's statement about this. We are not talking about Article 370. We are the people which have made it a hollow piece. And why we are not, we will not talk about this thing, and we are not with NC on this. We just want a statehood restored. So that's another narrative created by the Congress now. So this Kashmir, I mean, earlier I used to have these cover these Pakistani elections where Kashmir was a hot cake, and it was selling like a hot cake at that time. But this time it's no more an issue in Pakistan, but in India, Kashmir has become a hot cake. It's selling like anything. That's why, I mean, I said it's becoming now a jackpot lottery for every single political party that look what we have done to Kashmir. And disempowerment of Kashmiris is celebrated there and used as a tool to grab votes there. And that's pathetic. That's why I said, I mean, political parties could have said some other things, not that we have disempowered Kashmiri people and we have taught them lessons. And that's a little bit hurting. That's why I said, now look what political parties and national political parties are thinking about Kashmir and how it's projecting Kashmir to the rest of the India. And that's very bad, and that's hurting Kashmiris as well, who have voted recently and who believed in democracy, who believed in Indian constitution. And now you are saying them, look, we have disempowered you, and that's why we are going to get votes.
So that makes the despair sink in even much more.
Much more, much more. I mean, people are very fed up with this type of politics in India now.
So would you say that, for the change to happen in Jammu and Kashmir, it's not just restoration of statehood and constitutional guarantees. There is also a need for India to change, or Indians and Indian politicians to change the way they look at Kashmir. Is that
I
important?
mean, definitely it is very important because Indian political parties are exploiting Kashmir as if it's not a part of India. If you think it's a part of India, if you consider it's a part of India, then you cannot celebrate it as disempowerment. You can feel sorry for that. You can work and fight for the restoration of statehood and the constitutional rights. But look what you are doing. So that's why I'm saying that national political parties are doing much harm to India rather than to Kashmir.
Yeah, we are ending on a very pessimistic note, but thank you very much for shedding some light and with a lot of clarity talking about Kashmir and about Kashmir and India.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
very
much,
much,
Anuradha.
Naeema ji.
Thanks. Thank you.